the town mouse and the country mouse. Once upon a time, a town mouse went on a visit to his cousin in the country. He arrived at the country mouse's home to find that it was a barn shared with the other animals. The country mouse was delighted to see his relative, whom he loved very much, and made the townhouse heartily welcome. The country mouse was poor and lived a simple life. He was also quite rough and ready with his manners and habits. Beans and bacon, cheese and bread, and a bed of straw were all he had to offer the town mouse. However, the town mouse was used to living the high life in the city. He was accustomed to dining on much finer delicacies and sleeping in a much softer bed. He turned his nose up at his country fare and sleeping accommodation. "I cannot understand," he said to the country cousin. "How can you put up with such poor food and sleeping on straw with farm creatures nearby? Come home with me and I'll show you how to live. When you have been in a town a week, you'll wonder how you ever lived out here." The country mouse was curious. After all, he had never seen the town and wondered what it would be like. So the two mice set off together. They arrived at the town mouse's residence late at night. It was a grand house, several stories high, with steps up to a big front door and down to a large cellar. As soon as the mice had squeezed into the cellar through a tiny hole in the bricks, the town mouse took his cousin into a splendid dining room. There they found the remains of a fine feast on the table, and were soon eating jellies and cakes and all that was nice. Suddenly, the mice heard growling. "What is that?" asked the country mouse. "It's only the dogs of the house," answered the town mouse in a calm voice. "Only the dogs?" gasped the country mouse. "I do not like that kind of music at my dinner." At that moment, the door flew open and in came two huge dogs. The two terrified mice had to scamper down the table leg and run off. "Goodbye, cousin," said the country mouse. "What? Going so soon?" asked the town mouse in surprise. Yes," he replied. "Better beans and bacon in peace than fries and ale in fear." Better to live poorly in peace than richly in fear.